And we're back, and I'm being attacked by films. Not a shocker. But let us talk about the slasher genre a little bit more. And this movie is one that I like, but the box cover art used to scare me when I was younger. That is, see, right there, Alice Sweet Alice, also known under the name Communion. A great little film, early role for Brooke Shields. Has looks to be maybe a killer kid film, but you're not quite sure because this is a mystery one. You know somebody's going around and killing people. It looks like it could be the child, but you have to keep watching. It's a decent little slasher film. It may seem a little bit slower as compared to some of the other ones, but it's worth sitting through and watching at least one time, and just seeing how you find it. It's like Don't Look Now, classic by Nick Swartz. Bay of Blood. I originally was going to just shove this one into the whole Jello, but Bay of Blood is a important movie for the slasher genre. Anybody that's seen this, also known as Twitch of the Death Nerve, if you've seen my t-shirt, it's a bit of a classic that is considered basically, as they say in the back, the granddaddy of slasher movies. If you watch this movie and Friday the 13th Part 2 back to back, you're going to notice some similarities. Not in the plot of the film, but in the way the murders are executed. Seriously, it's really fun to go and do that. Watch Friday the 13th Part 2, watch Bay of Blood. Actually, watch Bay of Blood first. It's a really cool movie. And then, it's only 84 minutes, so it's not a long investment. Then go watch Friday the 13th Part 2 and then notice the murders. Thing to know, this came first. Yeah. Anyway, anybody that knows about this one I know exactly what I'm talking about. Next up's a pretty bad one. But I got it in my collection because for a while this was a hard one to get. And it had Joe Sholin in it, who I really like. Was one of the underrated slasher scream queens at the time. Rod McDowell's in this, Brad Pitt's in this, you know it is yet. Donovan Leitch, and Martin Mull. And that would be Cutting Class. It is pretty much by the numbers slasher film. It is way too easy to figure out. It tries to be a mystery, but it's so blatantly, obviously telegraphed who the killer is that you're like, it can't be. No, that would be just too easy and too mind-numbingly stupid to make this person the killer. He did. Watch this for the groan you're going to get at the ending line of this film. This one, we got its own special little place, and for me, for different reasons, and not good ones. But let's talk about it. This is going to go in a retrospective, but this is the one that I made the exception with. Halloween. Rob Zombie spoke on the Halloween 25 Years of Terror documentary and came across as one of the most intelligent people and on the documentary, and he really seemed to understand the way the Halloween films worked and what made them scary and why they were still around today. So that being said, what the fuck, Rob Zombie? What were you on that you thought that you were doing a Friday the 13th film with a Michael Myers mask? I mean, I didn't even mind this movie. Call it anything else, and I'd probably say this is actually a pretty well done movie for what it is. I enjoyed aspects of this film. I like Malcolm McDowell as an actor. I've seen Scout do some good work in The Runaways. It was great to see Daniel Harris back. I love William Forsythe. Brad Dourif was incredible in this film. But you totally missed the point. It's not about exploring Michael Myers and finding out what the hell makes him tick. It's not knowing what makes him tick that makes it freaking scary in the first place. It's not knowing exactly what's going on behind his head, inside his head. He's a young boy that, from a decent family, that killed. Horribly killed. There's a darkness there. A darkness that cannot be explained, a darkness that overcomes him. And you decided that you're going to white trash up his family and just explain to the nth degree what the fuck Michael Myers is? Really? Really? That's a good idea? I mean, like, you want to take all the scariness out of the boogeyman? You want to, like, lift the covers and peek under the bed and turn on all the lights and say, oh, look, the monster's a teddy bear. Like this film for what it is, but it's not a Halloween film. And it's not, and but you put Halloween on the title, you've made it Michael Myers, you've stamped your own thing that this is Rob Zombie's Halloween film. Well, you know what, Rob Zombie, as a slasher film, this would have been pretty friggin' great. As a Halloween film, it sucks ass. You totally did not get the idea behind the film. Great soundtrack, great movie. Forget it's Halloween, enjoy it. The sequel, it's not good as a slasher film or a Halloween film. It's pretty crappy. It's probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, stay the hell away from it. Such respect for this guy's music and for some of his work that it really pains me to have to, like, do this. But, you know, you crapped in my backyard. This is my genre, Rob Zombie. This is what I know. This is the stuff that I grew up on. You pissed me off. Next up, Candyman. This is kind of a supernatural slasher one. It's almost a subgenre in the slasher film on its own. And it's just a really great film. Virginia Madsen, Tony Todd, of course, Anna Berkeley. This is based on a Clive Barker story, and it's pretty cool. Pretty sure it's based on Clive Barker one. Oh, it's been a while. Is it really? Is it really? Is it really? I think so. Anyway, oh my God, it's been that long since I've seen the film. I got to rewatch this one again. There's a whole series of Candyman films, but I really enjoyed this. Some really scary scenes in this. Of course, a lot of it is the whole Bloody Mary thing, just reinvented. But I just really enjoyed it. It's a fun film. It's a scary film, and it has some great visuals in it, which you would expect from Clive Barker. Yeah, based on The Forbidden by Clive Barker. So it is Clive Barker. That's right. You should never second guess yourself. Now we went to one of the greatest, if not one of the ultimately greatest slasher films of all time. Bar none, hands down, great film, amazing. It's going to be much better than the films I'm going to show you later on in this. And this is one that should be in your collection. If you don't have it, go get it right now. Seriously, just go buy it if you don't have it. The Prowler. The Prowler, also known as The Rosemary Killer, was an amazing film. Joseph Zito directed this, and Zito would go on to direct one of the best, if not the best, Friday the 13th sequels, Part 4, the final chapter, which would introduce Tommy Jarvis and have Corey Feldman in there. Would bring in Teddy White as Jason Voorhees. But this film here, The Prowler, is just a fun little film. Basically, 1945, during graduation dance, a girl named Rosemary and her date are brutally killed by who's pretty much just supposed to be like a jilted soldier, somebody that she gave like one of those Dear John letters to during World War II. But of course, the killer was never found. 30 years later, they're going to have a dance again for the first time in 30 years, and the killer is back. Or is he? Or is somebody copying the killer? This is an incredible film. It was done in 1981, and Moods will tell you right now, 1981 is one of the premier, if not the premier year of horror films. This is a great one. Farley Granger's amazing in this film. Tom Savini's work is incredible. There's some really, really good shots in this film. I'm a fan of special effects, of horror special effects, the practical, not so much the CGI stuff. And what is done in this stuff is damn good stuff. I think we got Lawrence Tierney in this one as well. But again, this one doesn't stop till the end. It's a really fun film. To some people, it may be a little bit slower than they're used to, but I didn't find this slow at all, actually. This is one I pop on regularly when I want to watch a cool slasher film. Next up is one that fits the slasher and giallo one, and that is Pieces. Pieces is a crazy-ass fun film. When you can get a movie where the killer can just casually walk into an elevator, you know, hiding a chainsaw behind his back, because that's going to work, you know you're in for a fun time with the movie. It's sleazy, funny, fun slasher stuff. Lots of nudity in this one here. Lots of the red stuff. Really fun film, and the Arrow video version of it is really well done. So I got to give them total props on that there, and really love this film. Love Pieces. It's great fun. Used to find it cut up on a lot of those cheap sets, but I enjoy it. Somebody recently bought a 4-pack and one of those unboxing things I saw, and one of the movies it had on it was this one. And you may not recognize the title Jolly Killer, but you should recognize Slaughter High. Slaughter High is a fun film. It's a slasher film that's Calvin Rose in this one, and it's got stuff in it that you're going to be like, what the fuck? But by the end of the film, you'll understand what all the what the fucks that you're saying throughout the movie meant, and you'll be enjoying yourself. Slaughter High, fun film, much better the second time around. You'll find out when you watch it what I mean by that. If you do, comment. Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2. But you know, really, you could probably watch part 2 and get everything that you needed of part 1, because the first 45 minutes of part 2 is pretty much just scenes from part 1 with some horrible acting that is so bad you cannot help but want to see it again and again and again. That's where the whole "it's garbage day" comes from. I'm not even going to try and do it like him. It's just horribly badly done. I love this movie. Early film for Linnea Quigley, for Scream Queen fans out there, is Silent Night, Deadly Night, and yes, she is doing the nude scene as usual. Some great kills in this movie, fun stuff, and highly recommend both those films. Get the 2-pack. It's not that expensive now. For a while it was. This one you do have to get the trilogy of, because they're just so cool. The second one is the best, and the best in a bad, cheesy way, and that is Slumber Party Massacre. I've already talked about this one a bit, and I would like to do a whole retrospective on this on its own, like really get in depth on this thing, so I will do that down the road. But just right now, Slumber Party Massacre collection, Driller Killer, really cool stuff. Gotta check it out. Next up is like a more serious one that I really liked, and people are on the fence what they think about it. I like The Last Horror Film. This is Joe Spinell's one of his classics, and you know, Joe Spinell's got The Maniac, one that I don't have in my collection, so it's not here on the list, and that's the only reason, just so you know. Great film. Troma put it out in their Troma Masterpiece collection, and I really enjoyed it. Last but not least, you want to find out more about the slasher films. You want to find out more stuff that aren't on my list, stuff that I haven't talked about, and you want to just like maybe watch some slasher films, and some of the stuff that I've said there just really hasn't hit you, and you're like, I'm not sure. Go get Going to Pieces. A lot of places you can find this now for fairly damn cheap. It's a really good documentary on slasher films, and it'll give a much better overview than I could give right now in just 2 15-minute videos. This is a really fun one that's going to give you some introductions and a lot of really cool slasher films that you probably haven't seen. Or, you know, if you're a real big slasher fan, you've probably seen this stuff, and it's just like a kind of like a warm, comforting cup of hot chocolate as a movie. For me, though, it's not time for hot chocolate, it's time for tea, and I hope you enjoy this. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.